Good morning, Julie Hogbin here, sat in her garden in the beautiful sunshine, listening to the bird song because it's one of my happy places, and I think we all need a little bit of additional happy in our lives right now. This morning I'm going to talk to you about change, and the reason I'm going to do that is because we are in the midst of it, we are all experiencing it, and one of the things with change is that we experience it differently. Each and every one of us, from our backgrounds, our psychological makeup, our experiences, our knowledge, our age, our anxiety levels, will experience change differently. So why am I going to talk to you about it today, and why me? 30 plus years in management and leadership within business, implementing, working with people through change, with change, in the midst of change, and recognising that there's a lot of emotional stuff that comes with change, that when we're operating in businesses we don't always acknowledge and recognise, and we don't always manage, for want of using a different word, as well as we can. So I thought I'd do a really quick video live on this. I'm going to be doing more. There's already a video, it's in the Union and the Disruptive Entrepreneur groups. So this is video 2 of, if you like, an emergency me getting off my backside and getting information out to you to assist and help you through this. So change, I'm going to be doing more. There's lots of things linked to change. There's a change equation, change process, change curve, the whole lot. I'm just going to really quickly take you through the change curve. My first video was half an hour. Please listen to it on double speed. You'll get it in 15 minutes. I'm going to try and talk really quickly, and I'm going to try and keep these to 10 minutes, so they're short snippets. I will also post them all on my Conscious Leadership podcast. So, and there's lots of other episodes on that about motivation, about business, about team, all sorts. So please, if you're in business, or even if you've just got a family at home, go and listen. There's some really good stuff on it. I'm not saying that to big me up. I'm saying that because it's there and it will help you currently. So the process of change, the original work on how we as humans evolve through change was done by a woman whose name now escapes me. I'll remember it. Who looked at how people reacted through bereavement. So it was actually, the original work was done through a death study. And any good piece of research, any good piece of work, I do not believe in reinventing the wheel in any way, shape or form. Any good piece of research then gets transitioned into all aspects of life, really, management, leadership, life. And she identified key stages that we go through when we are grieving. And of course, we are currently grieving, apart from potentially grieving. Thank you, Elizabeth Kubler-Ross. Thank you, Cheryl. Fabulous. Yeah, thank you. So there's basically stages that she identified, and of course it all gets translated into shorter bits. But the first one, or one of them, is that actually we're completely ignorant of any change. We don't know it's coming, we don't know what it is, so we're ignorant of it, and we're on our status quo. Now, none of us are in that position anymore. The next stage she identified that we go through is something called denial. When we are in denial that anything has to change, that we actually have to do anything differently. Now, I mentioned this in the first video I did. We saw a lot of that at the weekends in the UK. So we're just coming into this isolation, lockdown, and everything that goes with that. And we're not locked down, but we're in imposed isolation. So we're not choosing this change. There's a big difference in that. Chosen change or imposed change. We are in imposed change. We have lost our control and our ability to do anything about it. So we have to give ourselves control back in other areas of our life. So the first stage in reality is denial. A lot of that was seen in the UK last weekend when everybody was out in the parks, down on the beach, beautiful weather here. So people did what they normally do in beautiful weather. They went out. They took a walk, they went to the beauty places. Snowdon was inundated. Various other places in the UK was inundated with people. People are in denial. What then happens, and it's beginning to happen now, is that people then begin to accept that the inevitable is going to happen. Ask me any questions on this, please, folks. This is for you. I'm doing these because I want you to have as much knowledge and information as I can give you to enable you to come through this in a better place emotionally, because this is seriously going to affect some people's mental health a lot, some people's mental health not such a lot, and other people will probably get through it, but they will still go through the same process without a doubt. Some people just go through it quicker. I can tell you a story about that. All my stories are true, by the way. So we come through denial, we go into acceptance, and we realise and accept that we have to do something different. Now, what that does is bring up a lot of emotion. It brings up fear, it brings up anxiety, which ultimately leads us into potentially, because it doesn't have to, but potentially leads us into a depressive state. Now, when we're in the depressive state, it is the worst position we can ever be. I mean, depression's not good anyway, but when we're in that depressive state through change, imposed change, especially what we're going through now, we have no control. We go into fear, we go into more anxiety, and sometimes what we do, we roll back up to go into the denial stage. So don't be surprised when you see people out not socially distancing. They'll fly back into that. I say fly, they'll roll back into that, because that's what we do as humans. It's not a steady transition. It's a transition back, forward, back, transition back, forward, back, without doubt. Now, because of what's happened, we are the only ones that can actually manage this for ourselves, with our family, with our loved ones, with our teams, if we've got remote teams, distant teams. All of that has now changed as well. So we're not in physical connection. And remember from the first video, we're hardwired for physical connection. That's what it is. We're hardwired for physical connection. So we will skip down into potentially the depressive state. That is really not a good place to be. And then what we do, we come out of it. We acknowledge what the change has to be. And for those of us that can vision, I'll do another live on the equation that goes with change. For those of us that can vision, for those of us that can see a future, that can design a future, that can create a future in these unknown, unprecedented times, we are the ones that will come through it first. I say we. I can't see my future at the moment. My flow chart, that's how my head works, my flow chart doesn't have an end, and I'm in the process of creating what that future looks like. I'm in the process of looking at what can I do, how can I do that. So in the meantime of me trying to create all of that, I'm actually providing the help I can give to others. I'm giving. We come through that sort of acceptance process, and then once we're through the acceptance process, we can then get to the end result, which generally, if change is managed well, and very often it isn't managed well, especially in businesses, 90% of change initiatives fail. So that's just fact, evidence-based. If we manage it well, we come through in a better place than where we started. And there's a couple of quotes. It's not the strongest of the species that survive, and some of you will have heard this, and you've probably not heard the full quote. It's not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent that survives. It is the one that is most adaptable to change. So please, all of you, me included, recognise this change is happening. We cannot go back. We will never end up with what we had to start with. Everything is changing. From the Chancellor's announcement last night, things are going to change. We will never be the same again. Nothing will be the same again, because lots of things are changing in this whole process, let alone COVID-19 and what that may do, or coronavirus, whatever people are calling it. I've abbreviated it already to C19. Nothing will be the same, nothing. So please, please, please think about this change, think about what you can do, think about how you can do it, and please remember that people go through this process at a different rate. Some of us will go through it quicker than others. You are in isolation with your family, with whoever you're in isolation with, and some of you are in isolation on your own. So stay connected, keep connected, stay giving, stay loving, stay in the rational world of the truth rather than the gossip, the rumour mongering and everything that's going on. I'm seeing it, I'm witnessing it. I can't repel all of it, as in I can't respond to all of it. Stay in the truth, stay in the objective, do what you can. It will help you get through this change that we are currently in. I'm going to be doing more on this. I have got a wealth of knowledge on how all of this stuff affects people. I say stuff, that's my technical word. Lots of information, filing cabinet of information that I'm going to pull together. So I'm going to be doing regular Facebook Lives in groups on my page to help as many people as I can get. I'm going to share the videos onto LinkedIn. I'm going to put the transcript, or not the transcript, I do the transcript as articles if they make sense, because when I talk and then I transcript it, I'm like, woo! I'm going to put it on the podcast. So please, please, please share this stuff. This is for you to help others. Remember, your family, the people you love, are in conflict. I did that on the first video. I'll do more on second video, on more videos. So this is number 2 of a whole series I'll be doing. I'm going to be doing them sequentially, obviously. So if you're listening to number 3, please remember there's 2 before. If you're listening to 2, remember there's 1 before, and so on. Going to try and keep them short and sharp. I do know I go on a bit. So please follow me. Please listen in. Please search these out. They'll all be tagged Conscious Leadership. They'll all be tagged the Union. They'll all be tagged Clavum. They'll all be by me. I'm in the garden because it's one of my happy places, as I said at the beginning. Please connect. Please ask me any questions you want. If there's anything you want to know about this, if you don't want to do it publicly, PM me, DM me, however you do that. My email is connect@clavum.global. Please ask. I'm here to help as much as I possibly can. This is affecting me as much as it's affecting you. I'm a director and I'm in property. I'm not getting any support from the government because they don't like directors and people that are in property. Who knows? So I've still got a smile on my face. We have to manage what's going on up here for all of us individually and with the people that we're in isolation with. So be safe, be well. The more you know, the more you grow. You only grow when you put what you know into action. Have a fabulous day. Have a fabulous day. Talk to you all very soon. And good morning, Daniel. And all those others that were watching as well.